Boom, boom. This is a pain in the ass.
All right. Welcome to episode number 396. And today we are talking about our new event, our new training that is coming up that is super exciting. It's called from Hectic Host to Millionaire Manager. It's our new event that Eric and I are putting on. So I invited Eric to jump on to this weekly podcast that we're doing now together to talk about what the event is about, what you're going to learn, why we put it on, and all that other good stuff. So Eric, welcome to the show.
What's up, my man? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to next week's going to be a powerful week. I'm excited to not only run the event, but see who shows up, connect with the people in the audience. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, man. The last time we did a free training like this was in March, wasn't it?
Yeah,
almost 6 months ago.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah,
time flies.
Yeah. I love doing these events, man. Like, we learn so much by working with so many different companies from around the world, and now even growing our short-term rental business and what we're doing in that space. And I don't know, man, there's something special about showing up and having, hundreds, if not thousands of people virtually from around the world and sharing what we do and what we're learning. And then also getting the feedback of like, hey, I was on that event that you guys put on and I implemented this and got this result. Like, freaking love that stuff. So yeah, I'm pumped for this event.
Yeah, last time we had over 1,000 people register for the event. So obviously we're going to crush that number this time, because every time we do an event, there's more people coming. So, but yeah, just to give the details for if you're listening right now, you just want to sign up, go to strlegends.com/register. The event is going to take place Thursday, August 12th. So that is next week. It starts at 1 p.m. PST. That is 4 p.m. Eastern time. That is, I think it's like 8 p.m., maybe 9 p.m. in the UK, around 10, 11 in Europe. So we really try to pick a time that works for most people all around the world. Because even the Australians can make the event. You have to get up a little bit early. I believe it's 6 a.m. in Sydney. That's something that we got really good at through Legends X, is figuring out what time to do group calls. Where it's kind of doable for everybody to jump on.
Yeah. I mean, it's man, what a position to be in, right? Of like being able to work with people from every part of the world. So yeah, that's the trickiest part, is trying to figure out a time, not only for our team, because our team is in so many different locations, but everyone who's on this podcast and our clients, all of that. So yeah, 1 p.m. PST seems to be the sweet spot. So yeah.
That's right. That's a sweet spot. So, yeah, go ahead, strlegends.com/register. Grab your free seat Thursday, August 12th, 2021, of course, 1 p.m. PST. And we are going to talk about the hectic host, and more importantly, how do we get out of the hectic host position? Last week, you and I talked a lot about the 5 stages of hosting. We talked a lot about the hectic host. A lot of people relate to being the hectic host. And we are going to help you get out of the hectic host position, get yourself out of the business, and scale your company and do over $1 million in revenue on Airbnb, which is the level that will allow you into the STR Legends Mastermind. So super exciting stuff. But Eric, why don't you explain a little bit more about what we're talking about on the event?
Yeah. So and I'm sure we've spoken about this multiple times on the podcast. And if, listeners watch us on YouTube and everything else that we do, like, we talk about this all the time, is that hectic host position, being in that position where it's like, you have experience in running an Airbnb. You may have 1, you may have 3, you may have 10, wherever you're at, but you love the industry, you have experience, you've been running it, you're making some money, you want to grow, but you are just completely burnt out with the idea of adding more units, because adding more units means more work for you, right? And that should not be the case. That should not be the case for our business. Adding more units should mean more money for us, right? It should mean creating more experiences for more guests, right? That's what that should mean to us. It shouldn't mean that, oh man, that means I have to deal with more customer service and guest messaging. I have to deal with more cleaning issues, all these things. It shouldn't be that. It should be exciting to find more units, right? So what we have done, and especially at Legends X, being able to look at individuals, especially the hosts that are, by the way, I just want to make a disclaimer here. This event is really for existing short-term rental hosts, existing Airbnb hosts who have an ambition to grow. Okay, so this is open for everybody. If you're just getting started and you just want to kind of immerse yourself in education, that's completely fine. But we're talking to the people that have been hosting on Airbnb and other platforms, and you love it and you want to grow your business, but there's multiple bottlenecks. There's multiple things slowing you down from actually growing. So what do we actually got to do to actually position yourself to act as a CEO and not a hectic host, and actually implement the right pillars in your business, the right systems, the right people in your business very, very quickly to be able to set yourself up for success, to actually grow to what we call the millionaire manager, the short-term rental legend, someone who is making $1 million or more on Airbnb, relying on systems, relying on people, and really building the foundation to scale beyond that, right? Because it's like, if we can hit that, and it's super simple. We just helped, many of our students, many students over the last few years get to this level, but through Legends X really hit that Legends status, that millionaire manager status. And once we start hitting, once we set up our systems and we do it lean, and we can hit $1 million or more on Airbnb, and we can hit that 40 to 50% profit margin on our hosting business. I mean, now we have a real business, and now we actually have margin and money to invest in the right people, invest in the right education, invest in the right systems. And then you as the host, as CEO, has a decision to actually understand where to grow your business and what you want to do based on your vision and your goals. So that's the whole concept of this event. This is, I feel like in our industry, as educators, what you and I do, Jasper, it's like, this is where we thrive. This is our one thing, is really helping people get out of the weeds of their business and start working on it versus in it, and supporting them to grow to that $1 million plus a year on Airbnb. So we're gonna share all that, and we have a specific process, and I think it's gonna blow a lot of people's minds on what you're doing now in your business is not going to get you to where you want to be in your business. And what you're doing now in your business is probably strangleholding your profits and your growth. So we're going to get into all of that. And that's what I'm excited about. So yeah, guys, invite you to come on out and go through the program, or go through the event with us.
The event, that's right. And just to be clear, it's a free event. So definitely take advantage of that free opportunity to educate yourself. And I like that you mentioned that it's not just a hectic host who this event is for, right? Because we're not teaching the basics, right? We're not going to be talking about how do you create an Airbnb listing, how do you get more bookings, more reviews. There's a lot of information out there on these topics. But what we're really going to talk about is, the business side, right? And This is not just important for hectic hosts. This is also important for anybody who wants to grow and who has even if you have currently one unit. If you have one unit and you want to grow to legend status, to that millionaire dollar status where you have like 20, 25, 30 units, if you don't understand how to build the systems, how to hire team members, how to get yourself out of the day-to-day, then you are going to run into the hectic host position. We can guarantee you that, because we see it all the time, right? That's how me and Eric came up with the hectic host, because we just saw in our student programs, we just saw people running into the same issues over and over and over again, right? And some people run into it when they have 5 units, some people when they have 10 units, but you're pretty much guaranteed to run into this challenge. And I would even say, like, any business, any entrepreneur is probably going to run into this, as you're trying to grow any type of business, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's any host, as long as you understand the hosting process, you have at least one unit, then this training is going to be super powerful for you.
Yeah, man. And to touch on this a bit, I believe we talked about this on one of the previous podcasts about, when we were in Costa Rica, we sat down with a friend of ours, talked to him about his business, and he's at such a massive level with his company where it's just so inspiring to see what somebody can do with a company. And asking him about his company, he was giving us feedback that was so relevant to us. Right. It's like, wow, you are light years ahead of us on growth and revenue and profitability and impact in this world. And we're looking up to you, but you have the same exact challenges that we do, just a bit larger. Right. That was eye opening for me. And that was like, I was like, oh, okay. Like this is business. Business is solving these problems by solving people problems with products, with our experiences, with our leadership. Right. And these challenges won't ever go away. But I just wanted to clarify this too, because what I noticed about what we do with Legends X is our industry, the Airbnb short-term rental industry, there's no, like our friends that are building other businesses outside of short-term rentals, if you're in different industries that have been around for a long time, there's a lot of education. There's a lot of direction on how to solve those problems and build those systems and have those directions. And it just takes time and persistence and passion and discipline to get through it. Obviously, all of that is relevant for the short-term rental industry, but we're kind of in a brand new industry again, right? And it's like everything's been reborn. So there is no blueprint behind how to solve these problems in our businesses. And I think that's where we come into play with Legends X, is being able to bring our experience of growing companies and seeing these challenges, making it relevant to short-term rentals, and then solving those problems. Because if we could solve those problems and we can get people out of, this is what I love about it, right? It's like we can get hosts who, for an example, just yesterday, we enrolled one of our new clients into Legends X. And, I was talking to him. He's been in the space for 3 years, freaking loves it. He has a massive, massive vision. But he's so deep in the weeds of responding to messages. He's cleaning his own properties, which blows my mind, to save money, air quotes for everyone who's listening to this podcast, to save money by cleaning his own units. And he has all these opportunities to expand in his unique market in Texas. But he's saying no to everything because every single property means more work to him, and he's stressed out, but he's not making money. He's working 80 hours a week. It's insane. And I ask him about his systems. I ask him about his team. I ask him about his vision, and none of that is in place. We're just going through the paces, right? And it's like, man, we just pull a couple of levers in these hectic host companies, and we'll see dramatic impacts, dramatic changes within 90-day periods. So literally we can go from this hectic host position where we're pulling our hair out, and with the right discipline, the right accountability, the right information, and the right action behind it, we can see a dramatic impact in these companies. And that's what I freaking love about what we're doing, man. It's powerful. It's really powerful.
Yeah. And we've seen the students in Legends X go through everything that we're teaching, and we've seen the results. So it's just amazing to see how people are implementing everything, and they're freeing up their time, and suddenly they're on holiday, right? I just met up with one of our students, actually, two of our students actually here in the Netherlands, where I'm visiting my family. So shout out to Toby and Dan. We had an awesome dinner together, and Toby, he's based in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
And he's traveling around the world, right? Which is incredible. So just seeing that, it's really helping people to free up their time and to start enjoying their life a bit more versus, just being in that hurricane, like cleaning properties and, 4 phones. I think there was somebody you talked to that had 4 phones.
4 phones. Yeah. I wanted to fly down to Mexico and hug that guy. Like, it's okay. You can let go a little bit. Yeah. 4 cell phones. He's like, my girlfriend, wants to break up with me because all I do is message clients or guests all day. I'm like, yeah, I would too, man. I'm like, get rid of those things. let's build some systems. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I wanted to mention too is I got a question from somebody last time we were running this event and saying like, why don't you just tell us on the podcast all this information, right? And I wanted to talk about that real quick, because what I think what we are doing really well and what we're getting better at and what our team is getting better at is understanding how to deliver information to an individual and having that information stick in a way to where you understand it and you have a clear direction to take action on it, and you have the confidence to take action on it, right? So I'm having a lot of fun like structuring these events, but this is a full immersive event. It's not just us talking at you. This is truly interactive, where we have, it's a true event. It's not just a webinar, if that makes sense. So we're structuring this in a way to where by the time you leave this, regardless if you decide to work with us or not, or go on our other events or not, you take away actual tangible action steps, and really it's the confidence to take action on this stuff once you leave the event. So it's a bit more than just a webinar. This is us really trying to support Hectic Host to make a decision on where we're going with our company and get a result from it. So yeah, I just wanted to state that. So anyone who is a podcast listener and does like the audio side, highly suggest that you guys jump on this. It's going to be visuals. We're going to have multiple cameras. We're going to have some music. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm pumped for it.
Yeah. And then you make a good point, because it's not just about the information. You can consume information in different ways, but it's really the experience around the information of how you're getting that information that determines like how much is going to impact your life. Right. As an example, I've been listening to Tony Robbins for a long time. His podcast, read his books, all of that, right? And it's all good information, and it did help me, but it wasn't until I actually went to one of his live events, and you see all those other people around you going through the same thing, and you actually see Tony Robbins there, talking, and you feel his energy. Yeah, and it's a completely different experience. And even though it's the same information that you're consuming, essentially, that event completely changed my life, versus from the reading the books and listening to the podcast, I might implement like a couple things.
Well, it's a different experience, right? I love podcasts. I went to the gym this morning before my day started. And as I'm getting ready for the day, I'm listening as I'm having coffee and getting ready to go to the gym around 6. I'm listening to an audiobook. It's chill. I'm downloading information into my brain. It's kind of passive. I'm paying attention, but I'm also doing other things. But my subconscious is taking all this information on, right? As soon as I go to the gym, I'm putting on a business podcast that's freaking pumping me up, what I can do with our companies and, all of that stuff. So it's a different type of energy, and I'm listening and I'm in it, but I'm also being active. And I think that's how most people listen to podcasts nowadays, which is amazing. Driving in the car, walking, working out, whatever it is, right? But the moment that we sit down in front of our computer and we shut off our distractions, we shut off our phones, we're not on anything that can distract us, and we're here. We're telling our mind and our subconscious that we're here to learn and we're here to pay attention. And this is the one thing that is important for us in the next 60 minutes. Right. And 60 minutes is a lot of time in today's world where we're constantly being distracted every 3 seconds. So that's why I love doing these events. And now we're getting better as a team to understand how to make it more interactive and keep you engaged. And like I was thinking about this last night, Samantha and I watched. So I'm just now introducing not overnight success. What is it? Orange is the New Black. On Netflix to Samantha. She's never seen it. She doesn't watch TV. Slowly getting her into that world. And then we watched it. So, and that show was made, I think 2012, 13, something like that. Then we watched an episode of a brand new show that just came out in the last 6 to 12 months. And she pointed out immediately on how we both were distracted on other things, watching Orange is the New Black versus this new show, which is called Dead to Me. dead to me. And what we reckon, we're like, why is this? Why are we more attracted to this? And we're paying attention to this show more than we are Orange is the New Black. And we recognize that the times now it's all fast paced. It's now. It's constantly changing. It's like new things that are grabbing our attention, where Orange is the New Black is really drawn out. Right. At that time, we weren't as distracted. Now we're being distracted with everything. So even the new shows, every 5 to 10 seconds, it's a new thing going on. So in my opinion, weak minds with what's happening with our distractions here are being fulfilled. And I think we take those elements into this event, right? So it's not just us sitting here speaking at you. It's like, how do we get you to interact with other people? How do we get you to take action right then and there? Let's get up and dance. Let's play some music. All that stuff. So like taking those new elements into this event, that's what I'm excited about for this upcoming event, but also learning how to, take that to the next level, like Tony Robbins does with his now online events, which are incredible. If you haven't seen those, I would check those out as well.
Yeah. Just to summarize that, our event it's not just that you're going to learn a lot, but it's also a lot of fun because we're going to make it super engaging, because those don't go hand in hand, right? Like as you mentioned, when you're having fun, when you're having a good time and something is engaging, then you're more likely to actually consume the information and also take action, because that's what in the end of the day it's all about, right? We can consume as much information we want, but we need to take action. And that's something that you and I have learned over the last couple of years is how do we get people to actually take action and create accountability for our students. So super excited.
For ourselves.
And for ourselves. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because everything we teach applies to us, just like it applies to everybody else, right? So before we hop off, let's give the people a bit more detail on our VOS system. You want to touch briefly on the VOS system and what that stands for?
So we'll go into this into detail. This is going to be the sum of what this event is all about. First, we're going to walk you guys and clarify what the 5 stages of hosting are, and we're going to help you decide and understand where on that scale do you fall. Are you a traditional host? Are you a side hustle host? Are you a hectic host? Are you a rising star? Or are you a legend? And then based on where you're at, the goal is to move up to the rising star or the legend. And there's a lot of benefits for each stages of these, but each stage also comes with different challenges, right? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get clear on the 5 stages of hosting and help you understand where you're at. Because once you understand where you're at, then you can make a decision and you're clear on what you have to do to move your company forward, right? Then we're going to introduce you essentially to our three steps or our 3 pillars on how to go from the hectic host position, because most people that will be there will be a hectic host, how to go from that position to a millionaire manager or what we call a STR legend, with 3 simple steps, our VOS system, vision, operation, scale. So that's what this is about. And it's simple. It's a simple process. We've proven this over and over again, that if we just quiet our minds, quiet all the distractions, and just focus on the VOS, vision, operation, scale, very, very quickly, we can get out of that hectic host position and be in a better spot. So that's what we're going into. We're going to share with you how you guys can scale to $1 million or more on Airbnb, what that means to you and your business, and then what to do once you do get to that $1 million or more on Airbnb, what to do from that level. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some handouts. We're going to have some fun bonuses on here as well. Recommend, if you guys haven't registered for it, strlegends.com/register, and we'll get through it. It's going to be fun.
That's right. And let's see, what else do we have? On Monday, we are going to, there will be podcast number 397 with Julie George. So as you guys probably know, if you've been listening to the podcast, Julie managed to build her business from 0 to 130 listings in Australia. And what's really cool about Julie is that she did that in 2.5 years by keeping her business really, really simple, and by essentially doing the stuff that we're teaching, right? By having the systems in place, having a clear vision, and then she sold it, which is incredible. Right. So she calls that the ultimate payday. So she's going to be teaching on the event as well. So if you want to learn from her, if you want to learn from somebody who's I think she did like $8 million on Airbnb, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
If you want to learn from her, she'll be teaching as well on our event. And she's going to be on the podcast as well on Monday. So she's going to share what she learned from coaching, because she was one of the coaches on Legends X. So she's going to share what she learned from coaching over 40 short-term rental companies through Legends X, which, by the way, is also something that always excites me when we do these events and when we do these trainings and stuff, is that I always learn from other people as well. I learn half of the stuff I learn from our students, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, 100%.
So yeah, lots of exciting stuff in the pipeline. But most importantly, Thursday, mark your calendar. Thursday, August 12th, 1 p.m. PST. Grab your free seat at strlegends.com/register. Take this opportunity to learn. It's going to be fun. It's going to be super powerful. So, any final words, Eric, before we wrap this up?
That's it. I will I'll chat with you guys next week. I'm excited to get into this rhythm with you, Jasper, and just keep pumping out these podcasts. And I'm excited for a weekly show. This is something that we've been working on for a year and a half, right? To get to this point. So we're
That's
here.
right.
But register. We'll see you guys next week, next Thursday.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. And thanks to the listeners. We'll be back on Monday. And next week, Eric and I will be back with another podcast between the two of us. So see you on Thursday, August 12th, and see you on the podcast. Ciao. Boom.